Hi, welcome back to our channel. My name is Nina Means, Director for Austin Community College Fashion Incubator, and we are here for Coffee Talk. So every week, we start off our week just kind of catching up on what's going on in our industry, but also what's going on in Fashion Incubator. So this is an opportunity for us to kind of take a step back and really kind of examine our why. You know, as we're looking around at what's happening with climate change, and really the role that the fashion industry plays. The area that we really want to talk about today is really focused on sustainability. If you've worked in our business for any length of time, you know how easy it is to be wasteful in the creation of our product. I worked for companies where I was asked to design 8 different ideas for one style that would actually be purchased, or 10 different ideas that would go towards one style that would actually be purchased. And so all of the development that it took in order to get to that point was, complete waste. I worked for other companies, on the other hand, who said, you know what, if you're a great designer, you should be able to do it in 2 or 3 tries. And if you're not a great designer, then this may not be the place for you to work. But they had a hard line about not being wasteful. And I think that that was one thing that I really appreciated about working in that environment, was that it was really about precision and really understanding what the customer wanted and how to deliver that product on time in a sustainable way. Designers now have a unique experience that designers in the past just didn't have. There was no one looking over your shoulder to make sure that you were being transparent about where things were being made. People weren't asking you if there were eco-fibers being utilized in your fabrics. People didn't even know what eco-fibers were. Truthfully, sustainability didn't have the ring to it that it does now. And I think now that we see that there's change to, the way that the earth is literally seizing, earthquakes in Haiti, fires in California, fires in Siberia, for crying out loud. So there's a lot of things that are happening globally that I think are now getting our attention in terms of what's needed in terms of climate change, in terms of environmental responsibility. This is really where fashion gets an opportunity to rewrite the next several years. And if you've watched any of our talks before, you know that I've mentioned before that there's some market studies that are really looking at the shift towards sustainability and circularity in the fashion industry and how much market is available when we shift into that space. And so as we're looking at what we know as a 1.3, $1.5 trillion global industry, we're really looking at seeing that grow to $5 trillion. $5 trillion over the next several years. And so as you see the boom in fashion happening, we're really looking to see that boom in fashion technology, eco-fibers, circularity, sustainability, in ways that we are able to support. Really, how are we going to be more responsible with the resources that we have? How are we going to recycle and upcycle the things that we have? What services are we going to introduce into the market? What technology are we going to be able to utilize? And so one of the articles that we were pulling from today is from the Business of Fashion. If you are part of our industry, you're probably reaching for 2 primary texts: your Women's Wear Daily and your Business of Fashion. Business of Fashion is prolific in providing a lot of information regarding sustainability and what's changing in our world every day. And so we were looking at a particular article regarding really just how are public relations talking about sustainability and really what that shift has been looking like. One of the things that we really find are, I think where the sustainability train has kind of gotten off the rails, so to speak, is that a lot of us felt the responsibility to claim sustainability, even whenever sustainability wasn't necessarily happening. They knew it was a trend idea. They knew it was something that needed to happen, but now there's a bit of a reckoning in terms of being completely, not just transparent, but just honest. Let's just be honest. And when you say sustainability, in what way? How are you being sustainable? I think that we also have some grace to offer, especially small and emerging brands that are trying to, get their product out there, trying to build a profitable collection and really understanding, how many different components are needed in order for them to do that, how much money is required for them to do that. And whenever you stand behind eco-fiber, you stand behind certain kinds of practices, it means that a lot of times your cost is going to go up. And so if people aren't ready to invest in emerging brands that are standing behind, true sustainable practices, a lot of this, we need to be sustainable is really falling on deaf ears. We're not putting that sustainability into practice. So this is really an opportunity for, not just for us to say everything needs to be sustainable, but for us to really put our money where our mouth is, to really back up what's needed in order to bring a sustainable brand to market. One of the things that we've looked at in a variety of different spaces is really how are we as a fashion incubator supporting brands as they build their sustainability. Here in Austin, we are committed to, looking at a lot of ways for businesses, especially if you're moving into Austin, you've probably already encountered City of Austin Economic Development Department and their focus on zero waste and really making an impact in the local community, but not the kind of impact that's leaving a carbon footprint. And so we really want to, want to lift up our local city. Sylnovia and her team are doing incredible work in terms of developing an economic landscape that's also environmentally responsible. And so as we're raising up small brands and small fashion businesses here in Austin, our commitment is the same. We are really committed to sustainability and looking at ways to help brands leverage things like fashion technology. We work with Gerber Technology to work with the AccuMark suite, so AccuMark 2D, 3D, the product lifecycle management software platforms, automatic cutting systems. All of these things in technology help us to be more efficient with the product that we're creating, being able to get that product to market in a much more efficient way than what was previously possible. So, the challenge for a lot of small brands is not just getting the first collection out there, but turning around and getting the second collection out. How much money is it going to take for me to turn around and create the next batch of goods? And so a lot of times, you see designers really kind of pulling together resources and, if they're lucky, an angel investor to be able to pull those things together. But it's really, really difficult. Sustainability is a challenge. And so as we're trying to talk about these various places where sustainability is happening, fashion technology is really where we believe you can really make a huge impact. And so we will always stand behind fashion tech here at the Fashion Incubator and really bring up new fashion brands utilizing that technology to be able to bring their products to market. This is really transforming the way that we do business. A lot of times we're really used to kind of the creative waste that happens whenever you create brands, create collection after collection, lots of deliveries, lots of volume. But this is an opportunity to be much more precise. And our goal with that is to be much more sustainable and really reduce our environmental impact in the fashion industry and how key that is. So if you guys have been following along, you know that we just closed we just closed our second cohort application round. They'll be going through interviews here shortly. They've all stated what their sustainability goals are for their brands. And so we can't wait to bring them in, to train them on the technology and to get them back out there. So again, this is an opportunity for us to kind of share with you, we see what's happening out there. We see what's happening in our industry. We know the kind of impact that's being had. But this is an opportunity for us to train up the new class, of fashion designers, the new class of fashion brands that you're going to love and that you're going to want to buy. Leveraging technology, being, environmentally responsible, and ultimately pushing sustainability forward. So if you want to hear more and you want to check in with what we're doing on our Instagram or on any of our social handles, follow us along at ACC Fashion Incubator. And also, if you haven't started subscribing to these lives, we do this every single Monday. So I'd love to talk with you. Feel free to drop in some things in the chat. We'd love to share with you what we're working on. You can find us here on our YouTube channel at ACC Fashion Incubator. So like, subscribe, share, and we will catch you back here next time. All right, take care. Have a great week.